Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MBA Karo. So, Snap 2024 is done and dusted. I don't know what happened in the second slot. The students might be out by now, and they would like if you're watching it, the second shift students they can comment on how the paper was. Was it easy or difficult than the other two slots? And in this video, we are going to discuss the first paper. Okay, that was from 2 to 3 p.m. And yeah, so we are going to discuss the paper. So please do like this stream before we begin. Okay, and we have the questions with us. Right, so we will talk about it. How was the paper, and uh, you let us know that how much did you attempt in the paper, how many genuine attempts. Okay, so yeah, so you are discussing the questions. We'll discuss them in detail. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media platforms. How was your examination? First of all, let us know the attempts. How did you find it compared to slot one, slot two? Yes, slot one versus slot two versus slot three. What is your take? How was it? 47 attempts. 54 genuine attempts. Okay, great. Okay, 56 overall. So सारे इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट्स यही हैं क्या 47 48 45 से नीचे कोई बात ही नहीं कर रहा है. Okay, it was your first attempt. Okay, some of you might have taken the risk to take it at the only attempt. Okay, tough. How many of you find that this was the better one? I mean, I found that among these three tests, this was the, I won't say that it was easy, but comparatively doable considering the quant section because quant was short in this. ठीक है मतलब कुछ एक क्वेश्चन छोड़ दो बाकी क्वांट डुएबल लगी. ओके वन स्टिल वन और थ्री मतलब थ्री से तो बेटर था. इट इज गोइंग टू बी डिसाइडिंग वुड बी बिटवीन वन एंड थ्री. नाउ सी इट इज नथिंग इज as such ki deciding कौन सा होगा. Like let's say if someone scored very well in slot 2 would get the highest score. Like for example last year I had the highest score in slot 1. Slot 2 was the easiest though. Okay, because I like aced the quant section in slot 1. Slot 2 my English did not go well, so I scored lesser than that. So it is a subjective thing depending on person to person, but considering the overall difficulty I think today was slightly better than slot 3. So would say ki like better than slot 2. So slot 1 or 3 were the ones. So it is a gamble every year which one will turn out to be the best, right? So 1 and 3 I would say this comparable because reasoning was lengthy today. Yeah, binary logic questions were way too long. There were some like seating arrangement questions on some other questions which were way too long. Okay, so please like the video once we have 200 likes because more than 200 people are watching. So then we will begin with the questions, discussing the questions. Okay, so some of you are saying that it was the easiest. Yes, I agree that it was, in my opinion, like it was the easiest. Okay, I would say that it was like if I had to call, right, I would say three was the easiest considering the quant thing because most people uh, like struggle in quant. Okay, all right. So logical was lengthy, but yes, it was like selective question. So we will discuss that. Ki kaise it was about selective questions. Okay, so if you had to uh, choose wisely, then you would have been able to pick the questions. Okay, so let's start. Right, so I would say that English was easy to moderate. I mean, the typical English that you have for Snap. Okay, so I mean, English more or less not much difference, right? Logical reasoning, it was lengthy. I would say moderate to difficult because it was on the lengthy side. Okay, moderate quant and DI, I would say moderate because there were more doable questions. Calculation wise, it was easy. ठीक है, so last time like पहले दो slot में बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चन थे जो कर ही नहीं सकते थे. This time around there were many questions. There were many questions that were definitely doable. Okay, all right. So let's see this thing and how many of you agree कि quant was doable, more doable than previous one? Quant was more doable. Okay, doable. Some people still agree that disagree, but let's see. Okay, so there were a lot of questions which were straightforward this time. So I would rate that quant was moderate. Okay, but let's ultimately the results will reflect things, right? So in English, there were questions were like fill in the blanks. There were parts of speech. There were some questions like conjunction, adjective, adverb. So typical that English thing was there. Okay, idioms and phrases are a couple of questions. Figures of speech, only one question was there this time. Okay, last time there were many more questions on thing. Right, there was one question on compound word, passive voice. There were a couple of questions and some questions on vocab like matching the synonym antonyms, etc. Okay, so that was the case. Okay, if you talk about logical reasoning, alphanumeric, देखो logical reasoning में करने वाला क्या था? Alphanumeric series था. Syllogisms was easy to do. Right, there were like critical reasoning, half like binary logic करने वाला नहीं था. Avoid skippable questions थे. Okay, too lengthy. Okay, calendar was easy one. So अगर आपने ये चीज कर ली plus CR, like you would have done 50% of CR. Like इसमें से तीन मतलब usually easy थे, one or two questions were lengthy. Okay, so basically these if you had taken some of these questions, CR questions, blood relation was easy. Okay, logical order was easy. So binary logic छोड़ के I think blood relations, one or two questions, one was lengthy, one was doable. So there were some questions, right? So one had to pick the questions wisely in order to attempt it. Okay, all right. So that was the logical reasoning. Quantum DI, there was one DI question, 107.32% answer आया उसका. Arithmetic dominated, mostly doable questions. Okay, geometry mensuration, there was one trigonometry question and another circle one. Okay, then modern maths, 3 4 questions, like basic conceptual questions. Okay, and then algebra questions, a couple of questions. Numbers, there were 2 3 questions. Okay, so this was the distribution of the quant section. Okay, now cutoff. Many of you would be wondering that what could be the cutoff. I believe that cutoff will not cross like 40 41, right? Basically it will be 40 41 would be that range. Okay, so basically that would be the range in which you will get the cutoff. 98 percentile plus would be the cutoff for SIPM Pune SMHRD. Okay, so around 40 41 could be the cutoff this time. I don't think it will go much higher because considering the difficulty level, slightly more than last year's. Okay, 22 से तो कम था, but 23 से थोड़ा ज़्यादा difficult था. Okay, so that could be the cutoffs, right? So these are the mere predictions. I mean, wait for the actual result. No one can predict actual cutoffs, right? Even in CAT, where you have data of aspirants, whether you have the response sheet, उसमें तो कट ऑफ क्लियर नहीं, कोई सही नहीं बता पाता है, राइट? आपने अभी कितने परसेंटाइल प्रेडिक्टर देखे होंगे, डेटा होने के बाद भी करेक्ट नहीं बताता. इसमें तो कुछ डेटा ही नहीं होता, राइट? यू डू नॉट हैव एनी क्वेश्चन पेपर, यू डू नॉट हैव एनी रिस्पॉन्स शीट. सो वेट फॉर द रिजल्ट. Okay, that would be declared on that, right? Okay, so now let's see the questions and please keep calculating your score. So first do like this video to appreciate our effort. I have snaked in the ref sheet again, right? So you must be लाइक जो लोग बदमाश लोग होंगे वो उनको बड़ी खुशी होती है ये कैसे यहाँ से रफ शीट उठा लाते हैं. Okay, so let's look at the questions. Start calculating your score. Okay, and we will discuss all the questions. ठीक है, तो सारे एक साथ पता चल जाएंगे आपको. तो do watch the entire video. Okay, so कौन सा क्या था? We will discuss all these questions. So we start with starting with the English section. Right. So first question था one was apostate. Okay, that was renounce politics and that was religious or political belief. How many of you got this one right? This was a tricky question. ठीक है, I marked atheist for it, right? But atheist is someone who does not believe in itself, right? So first of all, जो believe ही नहीं करता वो होता है atheist. So the answer was apostate, not atheist. Many of you might have marked atheist. I did not know the meaning of the word apostate, so I just found it. ठीक है, आप इसकी जो डेफिनेशन थी ना, रिनाउंस्ड रिलीजियस और पॉलिटिकल बिलीफ, आपको एपोस्टेट आंसर मिल जाएगा गूगल में डायरेक्ट. एथियस्ट नहीं था, एसेटिक भी नहीं था. ओके, सो मेनी ऑफ यू माइट हैव मार्क्ड एथियस्ट. दैट इज रॉन्ग. इवन आई मार्क्ड एथियस्ट. ओके, देन देयर वाज a question, Shanti's shop, some restaurant and this thing. The answer was between. Okay, now some of you might be wondering कि amidst क्यों नहीं होगा. See, amidst, like when we speak in Hindi, right? हम बोलते हैं बीच में, right? We talk about the word between. Amidst, we call that बीच में, right? But amidst is something like situation. Amidst is used for the word situation. Like यहाँ पे physically present है, right? Amidst is situation basically. Let's say like he was experiencing lower concentration amidst the chaos. Okay, so यहाँ पे between correct है, amidst is used for situation. Okay, so amidst is wrong, between is correct, because some of you might have had the debate over here. And then there was first वाला case. इसमें first वाला adjective था. Okay, where it said first rank and then first board down. So that is adverb. Okay, so then you have one of the words that was tricky one. Okay, it was aphorism, right? Other things, the rest were related to philosophy. I mean, this is a kind of a literary device. Even I could not get this answer, right? I wrote all the options. Okay, and like aphorism is a literary device, others are philosophy. Like जैसे क्या था, atheism, absurdism, and agnosticism. So I believe कि ये एक दो जो vocab वाले क्वेश्चन थे, they were tricky. Okay, so these are philosophies. Okay, so these are philosophy. नहीं वो literary device, that is alliteration is different. I'm talking about there was a question odd one out. Find the odd one out था. Alliteration तो था ही. There was a question which was find odd one out. I'm talking about the answer to that question. The answer was aphorism. ठीक है, odd one out. Literary device alliteration था. Okay, then there was one question like scene, and sin. That was easy, right? It was like some easy one might have got this one correct. Then there was one other one which was some like Olympic story, ever with through there. ये भी easy था, बस आपको पूरा पढ़ना था और आंसर करना था. This was one of the answers. Okay, and then you had one of these was alliteration, that pied paper or not compound. The answer was Proctor. Then don't trouble trouble means there was a question like don't trouble trouble, right? It means don't invite trouble, let it come to you. Okay, it was like don't invite, let it come to you. ऐसे करके कुछ था. Something that option which said that don't invite trouble, let the trouble come to you. That was the answer. That was the answer to this idiom, right? Then this modal verb was made. This I guess you might be knowing what are modal verbs. Okay, trivial wala. No, I don't remember trivial or something. Let the trouble come to you was something like that. I think broach था या trivial था. I don't recall, but that I remember कि it was about do not invite trouble. Okay, let the trouble itself come to you. That kind of thing. Broach था या trivial था. I don't recall, but हाँ ऐसे कुछ options में broach और trivial था ऐसे कुछ याद आ रहा है. But it was about that. Ki let it come to you, broach the trouble, yes, so that must be the option. I did not recall the complete option, but I know the answer, which was that let it come to you. Okay, all right, then we have 10 questions we have done, right? So 11th question is I need to dash. It should be bite the bullet in my opinion. Okay, because it's a tough task to do, right? And then tell the like it is one of the favorite idioms of Snap. Every year, bite the bullet करके question पूछता ही है. ठीक है? Yeah, there were some close options. Okay, so yeah, that it was one of these. Bite the bullet, and like the person has to speak the truth to the boss. So obviously, bite the bullet होगा. Okay. All right. Then there was another one which was like best is yet to come. Conjunction. Conjunction में कितने लोगों ने टू किया? There is only one, that is and. Okay, because yet is used an adverb here. Okay, yet was adverb in this case, so only conjunction is there is and. Yet was adverb there. Yet to come. So yet was used as adverb. The conjunction was and. Okay, one is the answer because yet is used as an adverb there. Then there was one the bureaucrat's son was being groomed by her in his UPSC preparation, something whatever that. Okay, so was being over or by her in his. I mean that I mean this was right. Okay, then you have then another thing was then there was one match the following. I have noted down the answer like it was 1D, 2A, 3B. I have just written some of the words. Right, one was azure blue, and one was like one was blue and one was something like azure blue, and another was obscure cryptic. Okay, I saw these two and marked the answer. Okay, acha, then one more question was there that yeah, one more passive voice question, don't worry, we'll have all the questions by the time moon is reached, right? Some proper conjunctions and all not written. By the time moon reached, moon is reached. Hmm. Rest power. I don't know what is some. I have written rest power. What was that? Power level would have been touched by solar panel. Something like that was there, right? Or something like I've just written these reserve levels. Okay. Yes, would have been touched या filled जो भी था reserve level or reserve power ना reserve power हाँ so I just put reserve क्योंकि it takes too much time to write these things and like if I were to attempt the paper I would have like अगर question note ही नहीं करने होते I could have attempted all questions. I mean, one or two questions which I would have applied deep thinking to it. ठीक है क्योंकि इंग्लिश नोट करने करने तक around 10 minutes were gone. So it was in 49 point something. Then I realized कि मुझे पूरा पेपर निपटाना है. Then I shot up like anything in quant and then I realized कि quant was doable. Okay. Lander. Okay, so I don't recall all the words. So this was probably the answer. Okay, now let's look at the quant one. Right. So yeah, one or two may be incorrect, right? Because question paper to hota nahi, it's just the understanding that we have of the paper. Okay, some of the answers which I checked, vocabulary and all, must be correct. ये तो passive वाला थोड़ा सा tricky हो सकता है, and maybe one or two, right? Okay, now let us look at the quant questions. जो ABCD वाला था उसका आंसर कितना आया? I was getting one here. ठीक है, A was three and then B was five, right? C was six and 10. ये आया था, right? Then next question was I think E की वैल्यू पूछी थी, so answer would have been one, right? One. Okay. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वॉज ए का टू थर्ड था और 17% था. B was 20%. Some mixture allegation based questions. So the answer was 18%. Now these were some straightforward questions. ठीक है, हाँ ई निकालना था बट कंडीशन पुट करके तो सारा निकालोगे ना. टोटल वॉज 25. आस्ट वॉज व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ ई वॉज आस्ट. सो आंसर वॉज 1. ठीक है, ये वैल्यूज थी, बाकी वैल्यूज की ई की वैल्यू पूछी थी. आंसर इज 1. राइट. इसका एक का 18% था, ए को टू थर्ड अलॉट करता है और 17% आई थिंक इंटरेस्ट था, ये क्या था. अच्छा, फोर लेटर वर्ड, इसका आंसर होगा 4 फैक्टोरियल -1. कुछ लोगों ने इसमें 4 to the power 4 - 1 भी किया होगा बट दैट इज रॉन्ग. Okay, now it said that, see, it said कि you have to allot places, right? You have to allot wrong places. So that means all should get one. I think four letter wrong choice letters have to be inserted, right? So letters have to be inserted means like if there are four letters, let us say A, B, C, D, and they have to go into four places, right? One, two, three, four. So first letter can be gone into any of the four cases, so has four choices. Second will have three choices. Once you place a letter, second will have three choices, third will have two, fourth will have one, right? So these are the total choices. और correct एक ही होगी. Okay, so incorrect होगी 4 factorial -1. Okay, so that will be the so this answer was this. Some of you might have marked 4 to the power 4 also. Then there was that board question. The answer was 180 by 16, right? 8 kilometer in 2 hours. Typical time and time speed distance question, isn't it? Like board question was 80. This was easy. This was easy. This was easy. This like conceptual, right? This was a conceptual question. If you one is aware of the concept, then there was one another question which was time and work based question, which I guess it was 60. A and B they were working and like 5 hours में 60 था क्योंकि A की efficiency 12 आ रही थी, B की 6 आ रही थी, isn't it? 5 hours में कितने पेज टाइप करेगा और समथिंग लाइक दैट. 60. Okay, please confirm the answers also. If there are any discrepancies, we will discuss. Okay, कुछ तो होंगे जो डिस्क्रिपेंसी रहेंगी डेफिनेटली, कुछ तो मेरे भी गलत हुए होंगे. नॉट एवरीथिंग इज करेक्ट, राइट? Well, let's see the next question. Then there was question was A tells truth 4 by 5 times and B 7 by 8 times. 11 by 40 था contradict वाला. ये question I think in my modern maths video of NMAT I had taken this kind of a question. Right, 11 by 40. And you must be enjoying the music also. So there is Christmas celebration going on in my society today. So sorry for the disturbance if there is any disturbance from the backside. Enjoy the music. Then seventh question was doubling wala. Some double every 3 day. इसका आंसर था 102300%. Okay. So that was the answer to one of the questions. Then another question was 5:3 में है alloy, right? And another alloy is 7:9. I think iron and aluminium. और इनको equal mix करते हो. So 17:15. Again an easy question. So there were some questions which were typically uh, doable. Okay, and then there was the DI question. It was 220 by 205 or 107.32%. 107.32. Okay. All right. So 9 हो गए. 10th वाला कर लेते हैं. Then there was one quadratic equation. Okay. So next में करते हैं for clarity. There was one quadratic equation. How many of you attempted this question? Okay. Just wanted to check because I got the answer. None of these. I got the answer nota because Q was 1 and P was 2 और ये ऑप्शन नहीं था कोई. ये किसी ने सॉल्व किया? How many of you got this, solved this? Or maybe I'm wrong, right? I might be wrong because none is the answer. Eh? See, what I did was, see, I'll solve it because I solved it, but in Snap you do not have to time to cross check it. ठीक है, 0 0 नहीं होगा. The answer would be like, see, it is p square minus 4q plus 6q square. So p square minus 4pq plus 4q square plus 2q square minus 4q plus 4. ठीक है, अब इसको कैसे स्प्लिट करेंगे? दिस इज p minus 2q का होल स्क्वायर, ठीक है, प्लस 2 times of q minus because it will be 2q square, right, minus 2q plus 1, right, plus 2 ये बनेगा, right. Now it will be p minus 2q का होल स्क्वायर प्लस 2 times of q minus 1 का होल स्क्वायर प्लस 2, right. इसे मिनिमाइज करना. So q will be 1, right. If you put q equal to 1, p will be equal to 2. So the answer will be none of these. None of these. How many of you? I mean, I got none of these and I did not check it again because I believe that there are some answers that have none of these, some questions that definitely have none of these as the answer. Okay, none of these is correct. So answer, this was not in the options. I just checked the options again, right? So that would be the case, right? So इसका solution भी आपको मिल गया कि कैसे solve करना था. Okay, then there was another question which was sorry, ये 10 था. Question number 11 in my paper was, अच्छा 5 6 7. Initially I thought कि the answer is wrong But later on, I got some suggestion from some people, right? So that is 504. Then 10, 8, 9, 10 ऐसे था ना? Okay. So many of you initially I thought 720, right? But answer is 360. How? It was LCM of these three numbers. It was the LCM of three numbers, right? Many of like in the examination hall, I did the product. I did not think of the LCM. ठीक है आई थॉट कि प्रोडक्ट करके 720 आएगा डिवाइड लाइक ओनली द ऑप्शन विच आई फेंट रीजनेबल वाज द प्रोडक्ट बट इट वाज एक्चुअली द एलसीएम ठीक है तो सीरीज के नाम पे मैंने लॉजिक पूछ लिया था इट वाज एलसीएम एक्चुअली ओके सो आंसर वाज 360 I felt it was wrong, but later on realized it was correct. Then question number 12 is that trigonometry wala that I skipped. Okay, I don't know what was the answer. I did not even read the question completely. It said that there are 3 points sine theta minus cos theta और इनका सेंट्रोइड कुछ पूछा था कि ये ट्राइंगल के कोऑर्डिनेट्स ये थे that asked the value of tan theta something was there okay so I did don't have the complete question also I forgot the like I don't know the answer if anyone attempted it please confirm the answer minus 2 sure okay so many of you are saying minus 2 so that it must be minus 2 because you might have attempted I did not attempt this question I would have attempted it if I had more time to attempt that question. Okay, so minus 2. Okay. So majority, I'm going with the majority. The majority, it's audience poll. Acha, there was one question which was ambiguous. Ambiguous in the sense that, like it said कि 37% 3 दिन में करता है. Right? Which said that, like it said that 5x is equal to 4y that was given to us. And z leaves after 3 days. ठीक है till then they had 37% like they had asked the fastest one right I do not know the answer I marked 20 कुछ सेंस नहीं था इस क्वेश्चन का I read it twice okay so I marked the answer as 20 but I believe this question was ambiguous okay it had no sense but I marked 20 as the answer randomly like logic लगाया कि 20 कर सकते हैं 100/500/4 या 20 25 ऐसे करके मैंने डेज देखे बट वाई वॉज फास्टेस्ट दैट वी नो बट एफिशिएंसी का कुछ दिया ही नहीं था ना हाउ कैन यू से 37% यू डू नॉट नो द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ दीज थ्री पीपल राइट okay so efficiency was not given of any of these people like at least z की efficiency दी होती then you could have find but efficiency was not given so I mean I marked this but this question was ambiguous or incomplete data I would say that this question was wrong it had incomplete data जिसने भी किया होगा तुक्के मार के किया होगा यही कि 20/100 ऐसे करके कर दिया 100/5 okay all right then there was another question which was I mean I was getting 2240 as the answer I don't know 1% of 200% of 720 is what percent of 0.1% of 60 what was the answer to this 24,000 or 24 240 24,000 na I mean, 24th, like I was getting 240, so I marked to 24,000 as the answer. अच्छा हाँ got it percentage होगा 24,000 आएगा 3 zeros आएंगे because हाँ 24,000 होगा because see 1% of अच्छा percentage पूछा ना इसका ठीक है so 240 I was getting the answer हाँ 100 से multiply होगा so 24,000 answer आएगा I did not convert to percentage, but yes, I was getting 240 as the answer. So 1% of 200%. So 1% of like 1% of 200% of this is 1440. right, upon 0.1% of 60 into 100. ठीक है, into 100 भी करना पड़ेगा because it is asking what percentage of. So 10 times, right, and this is 240. 240 into 100, that will be 24,000 percentage. So 2425, like some people might have uh, got stuck in this. Okay. Then next question, question number 15 that we are going to look at is that male female wala mother father, sorry, mother father, that ratio was 5:7, and now it is uh, 5:7, and it will be 7:9 when daughter is double the age, right? Present was coming as 6:8 or 3:4. Present ratio 3:4. See, इसे करना कैसा था, लेट अस से 5 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं. 25 or 35 years के थे. Let's just imagine, okay, then when the daughter was born. Okay, now that daughter is some age, right? And when she is twice the age, they will have the ratio 7:9. So double the age में 35 45 हो जाएगा, right? So present age इसकी half होनी चाहिए. Daughter is 5, so daughter is 10, and half age में that will be 30 and 40. So that is 3:4. So present ratio was 3:4. Okay. Okay, now let's see the remaining questions. Five more questions and quant. अच्छा, this was an interesting question. इसका आंसर क्या किया? ये tough question था थोड़ा. What was the answer to this question? How many of you answered this question? Okay, so let us understand it. It said that the height is 5. Okay, so this height is fine. Then we are given that its area volume was given as 80 pi. I guess volume 80 pi दी थी ना. So radius आपका 4 आ जाएगा इसका. ठीक है, इसका radius होगा 4. Isn't it? Radius, yes, 13 is the right answer. I'll tell you how. ठीक है, इसका radius 4 था. ठीक है, अब क्या है कि ये यहाँ से like imagine that it is a chord. Okay, 2D imagine करते हैं. This is a chord. So radius is 4. This will be 4. This will be 4. The ball is also 5. So this height will be 3. ठीक है, यहाँ से 5 ऊपर तक height रहेगी. ठीक है, so total height 5 plus 3 plus 5. So total height will be 13. So the answer was 13, not nota, not 13 was the answer. Okay, so core uh, I would say that geometry question. Then smile वाले का आंसर था, it was easy conceptual question. SEILM इन्हें 97th वर्ड पूछा था. कोई ऐसे पूछता 105 107 something like that, that would have been interesting. So 97th word था, because with each letter you will have 24 words. So you will have 24 with E, I, L and M. 24 24 96 is done. The first word using S will be SIELM, right? This was an easy question. अब जो पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट कवर करके गए होंगे, they would have solved this question correctly. Next question 10 12 वाला था. ठीक है, 60 और 144 का एलसीएम निकालना था. Typical LCM based question, easy one. 10 12 p.m. or something like that. Okay, all right, then two more questions to go. One is how many of you did that rhombus question? I just want to check that, did anyone attempt that rhombus question? What was the answer that you got? एक rhombus का question था. I did it. I don't know if my answer is correct. I'll tell you the thought process behind it, how I attempted it. Okay, so this angle was given as 30 degrees, right? So what I did was, like, it was asked the area of this path. Okay, did anyone, what was the answer that you got to this? Skip this question. 112. I got 48 root 3. So let me show how I solved it, right? Maybe I'm wrong, okay, but that's how I did it. So since this angle is 30 degree, right, this side was given as 10, it was a rhombus. So 10, ये height हो जाएगी 5 root 3. Okay. Now we know that a parallelogram has an area of base into height. So inner वाले का area हो जाएगा 50 √3. ठीक है, inner area हो जाएगा, this is the perpendicular distance and the side lengths are 10 each. So 50 √3 हो गया. अब outer का area हो जाएगा 14, the side length is 14. Okay, because 2 was extended. So outer area, like if you consider this outer one, the 30-degree thing, so this angle would be, this would be 7 √3. This is 14. So area would be 98. This is how I did it. I don't know if it is right because my answer was coming way too off. 48 √3, it was something coming in 80s. How many of you got 48 √3? 112 कैसे आया? मतलब, I don't know. Like all options were like 112, 118. So then I just marked none of these because I know that there are answers with none of these, and I had confidence that this would be the answer. Okay, 10:12 time था. It was time, not 10 बज के 12 minute. That was the time. Okay, then there was a function based question. The answer was 1.5. I solved it in the end. 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 was the answer. So this is the quant section. We have discussed all the 20 questions of quant, right? ए बी साइन थीटा से भी वही आएगा, हाँ मतलब वही है, तरीका वही है, लाइक यू कैन यूज ट्रिग्नोमेट्री. आई डू नॉट यूज साइन थीटा. आई मीन I generally use that right angle triangle way. Okay. फंक्शन वाला 1.5 आ रहा था. 13.5, like I solved it completely. 13.5 वाला फर्स्ट पार्ट आ रहा था, -12 was the second part. Okay, so we've discussed all 20 questions. DI 107.32. Okay, all right. So quant is also done. Let's look at the LR section. Acha, then there was one binary logic which had Shanwa, Suleiman, and all. Right? I do not know the answer to that question, which said that which of the following is true, that शाहनवाज ऐसे करके कुछ था, शाहनवाज सुलेमान ऐसे करके कुछ था. उसमें cannot be determined था. I did not attempt this question. Didn't understand it. Like how would you get that? Uh, okay, so there was one binary logic question which said that there are three people. That self goal wala tha. Self goal, because it was not given who is the truth teller. It said that who is the most likely truth teller or something, right? It can't be determined, I guess, right? I was not sure of this. The answer I think would be cannot be determined because the data was not sufficient to figure out anything. Okay, cannot be determined the tough tha. You did not have time to read it again thoroughly, so I just skipped that, right? I think cannot be determined on answer because information was not sufficient, but I skipped that. एक कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन था जिसमें ऑल बन रहा था, जिसमें रोड बनानी थी, फ्लाईओवर, लाइक फ्लाईओवर और पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट. ठीक है, इजी था वो, जैसे पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट और चार थे. ठीक है, ऑल ऑल वाज दिस, right? Acha, then there was the next question which was this. The series were very easy. So BCFH, GGIJ, LKLL, QOON. The answer to this was VSRP. VSRP, I guess ये तो सभी का सही होगा. ठीक है. Then there was another course of action which I have not written any answer. Why? I don't know why. I have not written the question also. There was another question on course of action. Acha, got that. That course of action was mayor wala. नहीं सॉरी, रेफर टू मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, अच्छा ये मैंने लास्ट में किया था आफ्टर स्नीकिंग आउट द रफ शीट. ओके सो आई had just written the question by then कि एक course of action था, but later on like after sneaking the sheet I attempted that question. Right, refer to MD था जिसमें लास्ट वाली कंडीशन मीट कर रही थी. Okay, so it was referred to the managing director. Okay, so that was the case because first two, three, like fourth was not meeting. It was a very lengthy question, easy question, but very lengthy. You had to read all the conditions and understand that which of the criteria is not meeting. So, usually banking exams used to ask these questions. Such questions are asked in banking examinations. So, if someone has been banking aspirant, must be knowing these exams. Okay. All right. Let's see this thing. The next question, question number five. Other metal, second one कुछ था. Other metals में सेकंड वाला assumption था. Okay, उसमें वो second ही valid था. There are other metals or something. Okay. Then another question was descending order में जो था जिसमें किलोमीटर माइल्स पर आवर करना था. The answer was 362154. I have not written anything, all the values, but that made sense, right? Somewhere in meter, that kilometer. Uh, no, he will be selected, right? There was so what happens in those questions is if one of the criteria is not met, you have to refer to someone. Okay, so last was it was not it was dependent on someone, so that is why the answer would be that you need to refer to the MD. Okay, yeah, it was 362154. Like some was in kilometer per hour, miles per hour, ऐसे करके कुछ था. So, like if you had solved this, this was the order, right? एक छोटा सा value भी आ रही थी, some in meters per minute or something like that. Then none. अच्छा, that second and third cousin. जो एक question आया था उसका आंसर था none is true. Right? This we had discussed in the LR marathon that who are second cousins, who are third cousins. Okay, so like none was correct because second cousins they share the great like uh, both were incorrect because second cousin mate said that great grand. So what happens is like if you have cousin grandparents are same. Okay. Second cousin great grandparents are same. Okay. Third cousin में क्या होता है great great grandparents are same. Okay, but there they had given in that statement they had given great 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 तीन time great था and grandparent, right? So that is wrong because great grandparent are same. Okay, double great then grandparent. Second cousin I guess grandparents were same दिया था ऐसे कुछ. ठीक है, but that is the answer. Second cousin में great grandparents होता है. So it was like repetition of the word great. Okay, so the answer was none of these, and it was a conceptual question. Syllogisms also the answer was none of those, none follows of that syllogism. Okay, then there was leap year, there were 4 years. Okay, leap year fourth है 2024, 1956, 1832 and 1600. 1700 or 1932 नहीं थे. 1923 these were not leap years, so these four were the leap years. Okay, so that was the answer. Then another question was हाँ एक ट्रूथ टेलर वाला जो था जो दूसरा था आई फॉरगॉट कि कौन सा क्या नाम थे उसके. इट कैन नॉट बी डिटरमाइंड एंड देयर वाज अनदर बाइनरी लॉजिक क्वेश्चन आई गेस. फॉरगॉट कि कौन सा वाला था. एक और बाइनरी लॉजिक का एक और क्वेश्चन था in which it was cannot be determined. Okay, so don't recall what was the exact one, but answer cannot be determined. Then there was next question is holiday wala, which I am doubtful. Like जो holiday Kerala वाला था, ठीक है. So in this case, people visit Kerala, ये तो true था, ठीक है. Others are there or not, we cannot tell, right? And third was other people will travel with other travelers. So there was one travel agency. So this is not an assumption. This we cannot assume. So ideally one and two होना चाहिए था, but I mean the answer was given as only one, so I marked only one as the answer. That was the best suited. Uh, like एक ही option लग रहा था मुझे only one, because people will still travel is not the case, right? I mean, I thought one and two because people travel to Kerala was definitely there. Others are there or not, we cannot tell, right? Maybe the others are there. Okay, it was like choose our. So obviously one and two होना चाहिए, but among the options, the best possible choice was only one. बाकी options clearly गलत थे. Then next question was incentive. I don't know. One and three, I marked that answer. I don't recall the question now. Incentive based something कुछ था. One and three, I marked. I have written just incentive one and three. Then there was one question that great great grandmother. I guess some family was given and great great grandmother's father's mother, mother's father's father, mother, something like that. Okay, three generations. So is what I marked. 14th, there was social values have changed, something like that. कुछ critical reasoning का था, but I think that was the conclusion. और इजी था, लाइक आई डू नॉट रिकॉल द क्वेश्चन नाउ, बट आई बिलीव कि एक ही आंसर जो क्लियरली स्टैंड आउट कर रहा था, दैट वाज सोशल वैल्यूज हैव चेंज्ड, समथिंग लाइक दैट. Isn't it? Social values have changed. So then next question was all arrangements. अच्छा, एक अरेंजमेंट वाला था जिसमें जे जे वाला था. I don't know the answer to that question. जो six people जे जे नाम से थे, जॉनी, जोनाथन and all. I marked fluke in this question. I marked all of these. I don't know the answer. हाँ, पास्ट जनरेशन, हाँ पास्ट जनरेशन, हाँ उनको मतलब ऐसे सोशल लाइक पास्ट जनरेशन वर्क, आजकल के लोगों को वर्क कल्चर नहीं है लाइक ऐसे. हाँ, प्रीवियस जनरेशन करेंट सोशल वैल्यूज चेंज. यस, ऑल था आंसर. आई जस्ट मार्क इट रैंडमली, ऑल वर ट्रू. ओके, यस, चलो एक आंसर तो कैसा सही हो गया. आई मार्क द आंसर एज ऑल because I didn't feel like solving it. I mean, to be honest, all names were confusing and people were facing both directions, so not had much time. But if someone solved it, please confirm कि all था कि नहीं था. All of these is correct. So a lot of you are saying that all were not right. Only John, only Johnny, all were true. So a lot of you are saying all were true. Why? Uh, Acha, so two were right, so you marked all. Okay, so all must be the answer. A lot of you are saying all. Because, like in the center also, some people I met, they said that multiple were coming correct. Right, I marked because there was one option, all is correct. So I believe कि यहाँ none, all वाले आंसर होते हैं. Let's just mark fluke. ठीक है, तो अगर दो भी सही है तीन में से, तो all would have been the answer. Okay. Next is there was no cause effect relation. ये जो तीन स्टेटमेंट दिए थे कि पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग और कल्चरल इश्यूज, और थर्ड आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, देयर वाज नो कॉज इफेक्ट रिलेशन. Okay, so no cause effect relation, that was one of the answers. Then there was another question on blood relation. इसका आंसर मैंने बाद में कुछ मार्क किया था, टेनिस बैडमिंटन था क्या? नॉट श्योर ऑफ द आंसर बट टेनिस बैडमिंटन. What was the answer to this question? That sport, the couple, some don't know like the answer to this question. I just marked. I didn't solve the set completely. I just read through it. टेनिस बैडमिंटन सही है कि और व्हाट वाज द आंसर बिकॉज आई एलिमिनेटेड द ऑप्शंस क्योंकि एक पेयर का दिया था क्रिकेट खेलता है शायद तो आई एलिमिनेटेड दैट ऑप्शन. आई डिडंट सॉल्व दिस कंप्लीटली सो आई एम नॉट श्योर ऑफ द आंसर. टेनिस बैडमिंटन था. ओके. ऑलराइट सो अनदर फ्लूक वेंट राइट. Then question number 18 was 10 December 2010 is Friday. So they asked about 26 January 2011. Sorry, 2010 or 2011 पूछा था, yes. So the answer was Wednesday. Okay, so 21 days में year खत्म हो जाएगा. That will end on Friday and 5 days ahead. Okay, so this was Wednesday. Okay, that was typical calendar based question. Acha, one of the answers again, easy one, UTYB XYFK. This was ADMT. You know, series based questions, they were easy. Like one should have attempted these questions and then put something else for round two. And Komal was the movie watcher. ठीक है. इसमें जो कोमल थी वो ट्रुथ टेलर थी. ठीक है. एंड टी का पहला गलत था, सेकंड सही था. और सी का पहला सही था, सेकंड गलत था. ओके. कोमल वाज द मूवी वॉचर एंड टी वाज द प्रोड्यूसर. क्या था? प्रोडक्शन और समथिंग लाइक दैट. और प्रोडक्ट वेन टू परचेज प्रोडक्ट और समथिंग लाइक दैट. Okay, Karishma naam tha. Okay. I mean, I just wrote K and okay. So sorry, Karishma would be the one there. Okay, I just wrote K T K C. So मुझे जो नाम याद आया K से वो मैंने बोल दिया. करिश्मा नाम था. Yes. So it starts with K, right? K से एक ही नाम था तो सही है. Right. So Karishma was the movie watcher. Okay. So Karishma, yes. So it seems a lot of you have attempted this question. Quite interesting that you attempt such binary logic questions. हाँ, so she was the movie watcher, T was the product purchaser, C did not do anything, right? और इसका second statement first गलत था, second सही था. This was the thing, and she was the like truth teller also. Okay, all right. So 20 are done, five more to go. So 55 we've already discussed. 21 number है. This is 20 GTT something like that. Okay. Uh, sorry, GT7, right? अब इसमें क्या था? Like I'll tell you, the question was they could have made it tricky, right? So 20 के बाद आएगा आपका so it was like 8 8 के साथ 18 के साथ आएगा I और 9 के साथ आएगा R. Okay, then it was 16. It was bracket also involved. 16, 11, and that is KP. So brackets were also involved in this, right? Now the thing was, it was uh, only about putting these two options made it easy because if they had put options with that bracket thing, that could have been tricky because the thing was to put brackets also. ठीक है, but एक ही ऑप्शन बन रहा था. एक ही ऑप्शन ये फिट हो रहा था. Otherwise, it was some brackets, like some bracket had to be somewhere. So I just ignored that bracket part because options made it easy. All right. So why to react on my cat result? I mean, that is not the result. That's just the scorecard. Okay. So based on two. Uh, then question number 22 was uh, that was like safari ride aeroplane वाला जो question था. I mean, this was again that first slot में जो उस तरह का है था उस तरह का something question. The answer was landing and take off. I marked wildlife and amphibian. Okay, so I marked wildlife and amphibian because that was the only thing related to animals. Okay, that was the only thing related to animals. Rest were they. I mean, the logic was not clear, but that was the only option related to animals. Or baki सब weird options थे, right? So it was like something related to animals and something like, for example, there was like pet is airport. Like logic कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था बाकी चीजों का. But the only logic that I was getting was like it was related to flights and the codes were related to animals. Okay, so that was the only code that was related to animals, so I marked this as the answer. बाकी कोई logic नहीं था. It was like clueless. I mean, I didn't know that what was the logic. Pet is airport, zookeeper is flight, right? Okay, then that was the case. Then the next question was again जिसपे फ्लाइंग फाइल का कोड पूछा था. ठीक है, मेरे पास सारे कोड्स नहीं है. मैंने लास्ट में आई जस्ट राइट दैट हॉर्प स्टैप. So it was like partially breaking into two parts. Hop step, right? Flying file का code था hop step. It was like two words, set of four words. Like you had to find common code. Right? Hop step. Okay, hop step was the answer. Okay, correct. Okay, so last two more questions to go. So 24th is cause effect था. Tax कम कर दिया, that was the cause. ठीक है, I mean second was the cause and first was the effect. First statement was revenue घट गया, revenue decrease, that is the effect. So second cause, first was the effect. Okay, now एक calendar question the last में, I mean the last question which I had was 17 leap year. Now see, each leap year has two odd days. So the answer would be 34 or 6. I mean technically 6 होना चाहिए, but it was not in options. Okay, so one would obviously choose 34 odd days because leap year has two odd days. I mean, it was like they had given some redundant information. Leap year comes every 4 years. Okay, 34 would be the answer. 34 because two odd days, like 52 into 7 plus 2. So 34, right? And right, so 34 was the answer to this. Okay, 6 होना चाहिए पर option है तो obviously that you will choose 34. That makes sense to choose 34, right? So that was the answer to this question. Okay, so reasoning I would say was lengthy. Quant, there were some questions which were doable. Okay, so quant had some questions that were doable. Reasoning was lengthy, but शशांक वाला क्वेश्चन दैट वाज, हाँ शशांक वाला जो था ना वो कैन नॉट बी डिटरमाइन था. ये जो एक और ट्रुथ टेलर वाला था ना, जो शशांक और ये सब लोग थे, एस से जो नाम थे शशांक एंड टू मोर पीपल फ्रॉम एस. Okay, this answer was cannot be determined. This also I think was cannot be determined. I skipped this question. I found this ambiguous, not clear language, but this was definitely cannot be determined. Okay, and the third binary logic was Karishma was the movie watcher. Okay, so like you must have uh, seen that how it turned out to be. So possibly the cutoff could be, I believe, like in my opinion. Okay, now that's a subjective thing. Slot 3 was easier than slot 1 and slot 2 was the worst. Slot 3 easiest like only quant doable thi, because quant is the place where you take time, right? In first slot there were some lengthy questions. This time there were some pickable questions. I mean, not I won't say that all 20 were doable. Maybe uh, uh, some questions that were pickable, right? Shashank was the answer. Don't know. It was like you could get others also truth teller. I tried, two people were truth tellers easily. I tried that question, so two people were to tell us. Okay, now reasoning was lengthy. I mean, it is subjective, but I would still say that some people might find slot one also doable because reasoning was easy that time. Right. So all in all, I mean, these are mere predictions. See, in an examination where you do not get anything, you do not get the response sheet or something. It is quite hard to predict. But if you are getting 40 plus, right? Please like start preparing for the next phase, right? Because that would be sure, like 42, 43 अगर बन रहा है तो that would be easily sailed through. Cutoffs may vary. I mean, it's a quite debatable thing. Even with data, like you must have seen कि CAT के predictor थे, लोगों के पास 20,000 लोगों का डेटा था, 50,000 लोगों का डेटा था, तब भी सही प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर पाए. ठीक है, इसमें तो कोई डेटा नहीं होता, नथिंग इज अवेलेबल. ओके. So we discussed all the questions. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. So please do let us know in the comments that what was your score as per this. And yeah, there might be some questions which might not be correct, right? Which I agree to, because after all, I also attempted. I mean, of course, कुछ questions को skip भी किए थे, कुछ question ऐसे ही जल्दबाजी में देखे होंगे. Yeah, but luckily managed to got all the questions. That's a big thing. So if you appreciate that, please do like the session. And in case you are preparing for GDPI, we have started our GDPI program. Okay, so you can enroll with us, and in this program you will get daily aware GD topics, coverage of the different kind of questions. You will be given taught basics of management, so I'll be taking up sessions on that, right? Basics of management, guesstimate and case study. So there will be these things also covered. So mock GDs depending on like the calls that you have that have GDs, right? And there will be personalized mentorship in the form that you will be assisted with all form filling, SOPs, etc., whatever you have. Okay. And we are giving two options, and it is customizable also if you want more PI or something, right? So we have two options. Like if you go for the 3 PI program, you can get it for 5,000. That includes these things plus 3 PI. Okay, so all these things basically form filling assistance. So whoever enrolls will get it. And if you wish to opt for that 8 PI thing, so they will be taken by alums of these institutes, the top management institutes. Okay. And in case you've decided to prepare for the next year, or know someone who is preparing for CAT 2025 and OMEX, right, please do recommend our institute. Right, by now, the ones who joined us late in the sense that who got to know about us later, must have realized that we are in fact the best institute, right, in the industry in terms of content relevance to the examination and the in-depth academic research that we do for all the examinations. So be it small or big. So in case there is someone who is preparing for 2025 and needs a holistic preparation for all examinations, okay, then they can enroll with us, because we have got feedback from a lot of students who were enrolled in some popular institutes. Right, they said that they did enroll because of the hype of that institute, but later on they realized that they should have joined us and they could have done better. So please do recommend us, and if there are some influencers conducting some polls and others, I do tell them about us also. Okay. All right, so that's for the exam analysis. Wish you all the best. Who did great on Snap? Okay, upcoming exams are ZAT, so we will be coming up with some sessions on ZAT also. So anyway, we have mock test and course for crash course for ZAT. So if you wish to check that out, you can check out our site, and we will be coming up with sessions on those upcoming exams as well. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.